I am Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is an Emmy Award-winning celebrity hairstylist who has styled artists such as Tyra Banks, Beyonce, and Mary J. Blige, just to name a few. And she's now the new star of own reality shows Love in the City. And she's here today to talk about her new show. I want you to help me welcome KIYAH WRIGHT to the show. How you doing?
Everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, I'm so glad to have you on the show today. And I want to say congratulations on your brand new show.
Thank you so much. I want to make another little correction to it. I don't style Beyonce, although I wish I had. But a good friend of mine, Kim Kimball, is her stylist. So I don't want to take credit for that. But I have styled many others.
Okay, well, they had that in your bio, so I just read what was in the bio.
Yes, it's okay. I think somebody else wrote that.
Okay, no problem at all. But I want you to first tell us about your new reality show.
Well, my new show, I want to call it a Docu-Series and not a reality show. I feel like there is a little bit of a difference. It's about a story of four women living in New York City. New York City is probably our fifth character because, New York is like this trend-setting, fashionable, fast-paced, get-it-done type of city where a lot of entertainment lives too. So I'm both bi-coastal here and LA, Los Angeles and New York. And really it's about me and three of my friends. And we've been friends for I'm talking at least 15 years. Two women are breast cancer survivors, two-time breast cancer survivors, one of them a third, which you'll see on this episode. Trying to go through surrogacy, have children. Everybody's turning 40. My best friend, Chanel Maxwell, is 43. She's going through, challenges in her marriage about trying to have children, and she never wanted them, but her husband does, and it's this whole, trying to get through that. KIYAH, myself, dating a younger 27-year-old, moving in together after like 2 days, and then building my new hair franchising brand. And it's just been a great ride. It's been a great experience. We filmed for 4 months, and it was really, really awesome. It wasn't choreographed. It was our real freaking life happening.
Now, can you explain to everyone what is the difference between a docu-series and a reality show?
I just feel like, it probably is a lot of the same, but when I think about a documentary, you really think about the truth. This is really someone's life. You know what I mean? It's not three friends made up, and if you actually put three women together that don't know each other, there's going to be a little bit of conflict, if not a lot of conflict and fights and everything, because they don't know each other. It's no common thread. But with us, we're four friends that have really been friends over 15 years. We've come in and out of each other's lives. We've been friends, the entire time. You know what I mean? So, we talk like every single day. Hey, good morning, girl. What's up? So it's like real life, and I think that's kind of a first with reality. You see family, but you don't really see girlfriends, and you definitely don't see you definitely don't see black women girlfriends.
That's why I got a question for you later on. And so with these four ladies that you chose for your show, and I know you've been in the industry, and I'm sure you have a lot of friends. What made you choose these women to be a part of the show with you?
Italics. I just felt like what better way to do a docu-series but then to do it with your friends. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not going to be a makeover show, which is what I would have ultimately wanted, I never even thought about being on a TV show at all. When I thought of being on a television show, it was about doing a makeover show. So, when I got approached by one of my other really good friends who actually executive produced the show and founded it, she just was like, KIYAH, you got a great group of friends. They're funny. You guys are trend-setting. You're fly. Like, you guys should do a show. Y'all are hilarious. And I was like, you think? And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And then she did it. Oprah handpicked it, and we were on the air in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
It was just so crazy. It was so crazy how it went.
So did you all start off with a sizzle reel first, and then she picked it up?
My name, okay.
KIYAH? Okay.
We came with a sizzle first. And she, we went around with a sizzle the first round, and all the networks just kind of like passed. And I just don't think it was the tone. It wasn't the tone that television was going into at that time. It was a lot of the conflict, fights, and action and drama. You know what I mean?
I do.
Action and drama. That was the tone at the time. Now here we are, the new everybody. Aren't you sick of women fighting on a TV show?
Girl, I'm so glad you said that.
Hey, you don't want to see your sister fighting your other sister, like really throwing bottles and boyfriend drama and just stupid stuff. Like it's so unnecessary to me. It's like we can fight all day, but I'm gonna take a time out and I'm gonna just not talk to you for a while until I can get myself together. You know what I mean? When we get to that point, into that place, it's just not good. And we've all been driven to that place. I'm not gonna say I could never, but I'm sure gonna try. I'm sure gonna try to be, just keep it tight and keep it close. And because now we're on a microscope. Everybody's watching us now.
Oh my! I'm so glad you said that, because this is what I wanted to talk to you about. And this is something that has bothered me for the past couple of days, and I'm going to talk about it on my show today.
Yeah.
Because I was actually in talks with a production company to do a reality show, right? And they do a lot of shows. This was what was told to me, and I'm still devastated by it. My assistants will tell you I'm devastated by it. And they told me, because I am African American, it is expected of me to be loud, brash, and throw a glass. If I'm not willing to do that, then you will not have a show, because it is expected of us to live up to the stereotype of Black women. My mouth hit the floor. So it's expected of me to live up to what the world thinks African American women are, and that is to throw a glass. They have to be willing, if you're going to be on my show, to allow them to be able to manipulate things behind the scenes to cause fighting. And he said, because that's what Black women want to see on television, and so that is what they give them. I could not believe it. And so every time you watch television, like my husband said, we're voting for what we want to see on television. And as African American women, we are telling Hollywood we want to see more Black women fighting on TV. So every time we give them ratings, that's what we're telling them. So that's what they are giving to the viewing audience. I just cannot I'm still floored by that.
It's craziness. And that's why it's like I'm just so happy that, we're on OWN. I just feel like we're in better company. The expectations are different. That's not what she wants at all. I know specifically that's not what she wants. Even our producers understood, because it's really the producers that really do, I think, influence the way the show goes.
Exactly.
Because they edit it. That you don't get to see what your show looks like. You don't get to see what you're putting out there. You really don't. So it's really the editors and all of that, how they perceive you.
Correct.
And what they see is what you've shown them. If you show them craziness, bickering, and fighting, they just are orchestrating your life on what they see.
Correct.
So they can't be at fault either. They can't really be at fault either.
And that's why I was surprised when they told me that OWN also wants to see more fighting. And I'm like, no, because I interview too many OWN shows.
No, that's not what they want.
I know. I've been dealing with OWN since OWN started. And I'm like, you cannot get me to believe that. Because since the network has started, I've been interviewing all their people for their shows. And I'm like, you cannot get me to buy in that that's what OWN is looking for. I'm sorry. You cannot. That's why I wanted to ask you that question earlier. You can't get me to believe that. And I'm so glad you confirmed that during this interview.
Yeah. For sure. It's they definitely do not want that. I mean, even the people on our team, our executive producers, his background is documentaries. And I was so excited when I found that out, because I was like, oh, because then I know he's going to be able to tell a story. I know he's going to be able to tell a story. And that was what I was just so excited about, I'm just excited about that.
And it's really good to be able to follow, women and with positivity and knowing that is not what we're trying to bring across. And whatever we're going to see is going to be natural. It's going to be organic, because it's going to be your life and not something that's produced behind the scenes to get the viewing audience to watch and make it sensational. So everybody can say, ooh, I got to watch next week, because they're about to throw a glass. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. What do you want your viewing audience to take away from your show?
But I want them to, we kind of really just touched on the whole thing. I want women to feel empowered, inspired, entrepreneurial ready. I want them to see friendship and love, you know what I mean? And I've learned a lot too. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like we're never going to do anything. I don't want to ever say never. I don't
Right.
ever say that in any interview that I have, because you just never know. Next season, you never know what can happen. You know what I mean? Nothing is etched in stone because life happens, and I'm only in control of KIYAH.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I aim to be my best, and I aim to, of course, I'm the catalyst between these girls, so, my responsibility is huge too. You know what I mean? Let's all make sure we're together. We're friends. I'm with a great group of women, and all of them are great in their own right. We got a photographer. We got another woman. She's building her brand from her spill-off from cancer. It's called YouAreWarrior.com. It's like the Facebook of support. She's building a mega brand. And what we try to do is, and then my best friend girlfriend is a photographer, and then Tiffany is in fashion. So we just try to really make sure that we inspire each other. You know what I mean? In every single way. So that's what I want women to take. Women, men, friends, whoever. Mm-hmm. Let's take away, like, how we can continue to build in our friendship and grow. Because if we get together, we spread like wildfire. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And it's infectious. And we got all these young people that's looking up to us. You know what I mean? Like, we got a responsibility to uphold,
That's good. Now, I want to talk a little bit about you, because you're talking about brand building and being entrepreneurs, and you're in the business of beauty. What inspired you to go into this? Business of beauty. Yeah. So what inspired you to go into this business? Did it start when you were a little girl?
I've been doing hair. I've been doing hair for so long. You know what I mean? So long. Like, that's all I've ever done my whole life. My whole life, it's been about, each other and really just building my brand and image making. I've loved it. That's all I've ever done. I've never even had another job. I've never even been an assistant. Like, this is it. This is all I know how to do.
Did you start off French braiding as a little girl? You know how most kids start off French braiding, somebody's hair, and then it goes into hairstyles, or were you just always the press and curl girl and flat ironing?
Exactly. I was the old. You know what? My career really went in phases, because I started out with like just doing hair. I went to hair school, and my mom put me in. It's funny because my mom, right before she passed away, she put me in hair school. So right from hair school, I went right. I moved to New York maybe 3 years right after. I was like, I went and found the best hairstylists in the city, and I was like, I want to work with them. And there was these two guys that were like super over the top. They used to like be designers, wear all these crazy neon color clothes, and his name was David Dior and Dyke. And and Benny and Guy, and they were just this amazing, creative group of friends. And I was like, I want to work with these guys. And I went to work with them. They taught me they were marketing at its best, because the way they looked attracted people to them. And then I'm this up-and-coming stylist. I'm 17 years old. I was just learning how to drive a car. And I was just like, I want to work with them. And I went and worked in there, and I'm talking like in 1 year, 2 years, I was like, fast. They taught me about speed, creativity, marketing. They were just so much influence in my life. So my thing is, always work with the best. Don't shy away from, when you get out of hair school, I want to work in, because they have those new like salon republics where everybody has their own cubicle with their own bowl and their own shampoo bowl and their own room and their own address. It's cool to end up there, but I feel like all stylists or people in the beauty industry, you need to work with people first, so that you understand new habits and you create new habits for yourself and learn professionalism, and just want to work with the top, because the top is the top for a reason.
I know that.
So you want to tune up you want to tune your skills by working with them. Like, I love working together. I don't like rooms and private rooms. I don't like all of that. I want to be right with the people. I want to sit down, be with them, work with them. We all work in a respectful environment,
Who was your very first celebrity client? Because, now you're a celebrity hairstylist. How did they find out about you, and who was your very first one?
My very first celebrity client was Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans.
Really?
And working with Puffy, because Puffy was just somebody we used to hang out with, like hang in the clubs. He was coming out. He was in Howard doing parties, and then sort of that whole like Norfolk State, Hampton University, Howard. I wasn't in college yet, but I was just like coming up a few years younger than him. And when he got Bad Boy Records, he was like, I was, hanging in that circle a little bit, and he was like, yeah, I want my artist hair to look just like yours. I want her hair like yours. And I was like, well, okay. And so the pressure is on, and and so he sent me Faith and Mary. And he started with Faith. He's like, I got this new artist named Faith Evans. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to do her hair. So I did her hair, and then he's like, I don't like that. So he sent her back, and then I'll do it again. But all right, I like that. I like the red. The red is fire. I like that. And, and that's really how it started, working with him and his artist. And then from there, I went in. He was like, all right, I want you to now go into with Mary. I'm going to take, because Mary and her hairstylist got into it. So you go with her, and you go with Mary, and I'm going to send Mary's hairstylist with Faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he just knew how to, he's awesome too. He was an awesome role model too for me, because I just saw this man grow a company from the ground up,
Yes, you saw him make those millions.
Yeah, and that's how, and that was the start of it. Yeah, that was the start of it, like working with Mary, Faith, Total, Little Kim, going on the road. I toured for 15 years in my career,
Wow. And not only have you done celebrity hairstyles, you have also graced the covers of Vanity Fair, Elle, Glamour, Vogue, Style, Red Book, Billboard, Essence, Ebony Girl, just to name a few. So you are doing real big things. So you know hair very well. If I don't know nothing, I know you know that.
Yes.
Now you are a professional, as we all know. What are some of the hair trends that are going on right now? Because since you've had covers and had spreads, what is the new thing now for all the hair types? Okay,
say it one more time. What's the new trend for all hair types?
Yeah, hair trends, yes, for all hair types.
Well, I'm a Clairol professional ambassador, which means I'm a color ambassador for Clairol Professional. And I think that color is the new trend. I am seeing, before, a lot of black women were not really, first of all, ethnic hairstylists are really not into color. Because I think it's black culture, we've just been afraid of color. It dries our hair out, it breaks it off, it gets brittle, you know what I mean? The whole thing. It's just not, it's something that we've shied from. We've been away from for a while. You said the new hair trend, so I think that color is the new hair trend. The new color for this season is rose gold. I actually just did a web series on rose gold color. I just think color, ombre, balayage, bold colors, pastels are the trend. Season color is pastels, and a lot of women have been doing it in their hair, like Katy Perry and what's her name, Jordan Sparks, Rihanna. Like all of these girls are everybody's doing color. Color is the new thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be blonde. Everybody wants to be blonde. I don't know what it is, but when people get the blonde. When they get the blonde bug, they go nuts. It's just craziness.
Not everybody can do blonde, but, God bless their hearts. God bless them. And before we go, I want to know, what is a magic makeover?
Makeover Magic. Makeover Magic is a web series that I just did for Clairol. And it really is about choosing the everyday woman and making her over, and really working with all textured and ethnic hair. So it's going to be everyone from Latin, Asian, Filipino to black. And these women are all getting makeovers. And, these are just everyday women. And I'm basically really catering to the consumer, everyday woman, or the stylist, or the woman who wants to do the DIY, do it yourself at home. That's pretty much who I'm catering these videos to.
That is wonderful. Well, KIYAH, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I definitely wish you much success with your brand new reality show. And I want to make sure I remind the audience to make sure they tune in on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern on the OWN Network.
Yes. 10 p.m. every Saturday, and I think it's PST. It's 9 p.m., so don't forget to watch. If you turn it on, you can just catch the commercial. You're going to see a little bit of yourself in each and every one of us. I'm sure you will, or with your cousin or your aunt, or you'll see somebody in all of it.
Okay.
So tune in.
Again, thank you so much, KIYAH.
Okay, thank you.